Some women pass through a man's life quietly and are forgotten just as quietly. No questions, no echoes, no emotional trace left behind. But then, there are women who don't leave that easily. Women who stay in his mind long after the conversations end, long after the connection fades, long after he tells himself he's moved on. And when a woman becomes that kind of presence in a man's life, something very specific begins to happen. He comes back. Not always in the way you expect, not always at the time you want, but almost always in some form. And if you've ever wondered why some men disappear so easily, while others return when you least expect it, it's not random, it's not luck, it's psychological. Because when a woman is always there, consistent, present, emotionally available, a man's mind slowly adjusts to that reality. He becomes comfortable, and comfort, while it feels safe, can also make things invisible. He stops noticing the effort, stops recognizing the emotional depth, stops realizing what he actually has, not because it isn't valuable, but because the human mind is designed to normalize what feels permanent. What feels guaranteed often gets taken for granted. But the moment that presence is removed, everything changes. The energy shifts, the silence expands, and what once felt normal now feels missing, and that absence creates space. Space for reflection, space for memory, space for emotions he didn't fully process before. Because when you're constantly in someone's life, they don't have to think about you. But when you're gone, they have no choice but to feel you. And slowly, his mind begins to go back. Not forward, back. Back to the way you spoke to him, the way you understood him without needing explanations, the way your presence felt different from everyone else, the way things felt easy, natural, real. And this is where something deeper begins. Because the brain doesn't attach to people the way we think, it attaches to emotional experiences. And when an experience feels rare, it gets stored differently. It becomes something the mind revisits, something it compares everything else to. And when nothing else quite matches it, that's when the feeling intensifies. He might try to move on, talk to someone new, distract himself, convince himself that it wasn't that serious. But the feeling doesn't cooperate. Because you can replace a person, but you can't easily replace how someone made you feel. And that's the difference. Because what he lost wasn't just you. It was the version of himself he experienced around you. The way he opened up, the way he felt understood, the way he didn't have to pretend. And when that version of himself disappears, he feels it, even if he can't explain it. That's why time doesn't always heal the way people expect. Sometimes time removes distractions, and when the distractions are gone, the truth becomes louder. The memories become sharper, the emotions become clearer, and the things he once overlooked start to feel important. That's when regret slowly begins to grow. Not all at once, but in moments. Late at night, when everything is quiet, during random memories that appear out of nowhere, in small reminders that bring everything back. And suddenly, you're not just a memory anymore. You become a feeling again. And feelings are much harder to ignore. Because logic can be controlled, but emotions have their own timing. And the more he tries to suppress it, the stronger it becomes. Because unprocessed emotions don't disappear, they return. Again and again and again until they're acknowledged. And this creates an internal conflict inside him. Part of him wants to move on. Part of him wants to forget. But another part keeps pulling him back. Back to you. Back to what he felt. Back to what he lost. And this internal tension is what eventually leads to one thing: return. But not immediately, because before he comes back, he goes through resistance. His ego tells him to stay away. His pride tells him not to reach out. His fear tells him it might not be the same. So he waits. He overthinks. He replays everything. He questions himself. Does she still care? Did I lose her for good? Is it too late? And this hesitation keeps him stuck for a while. Because coming back means facing what he avoided. It means acknowledging what he lost. And not everyone is ready for that immediately. But eventually, the feeling becomes stronger than the fear, stronger than the ego, stronger than the pride. And that's when he reaches out. Sometimes in a simple way, sometimes indirectly, sometimes pretending nothing happened. Not because he forgot, but because he doesn't know how to confront it directly. Because coming back isn't always about clarity. Sometimes it's just about not being able to stay away anymore. But here's the truth most people don't want to accept. Just because a man comes back doesn't mean he's ready to love you the right way. Just because he misses you doesn't mean he understands you. Because missing someone is emotional, but choosing someone is intentional. And real love requires both. It requires awareness, growth, consistency, not just feelings that appear after loss. So the real power was never in being the woman he returns to. It was never about waiting or hoping or proving your worth. It was about becoming someone who creates an experience so real that even after distance, after time, after silence, it can't be replaced. Because some women are temporary, and some women become a standard, a memory, a feeling, a quiet presence that lingers in a man's mind long after she's gone. And those are the women men always come back to. If this made you feel something or helped you understand things in a deeper way, make sure to subscribe for more content like this. And if you've ever experienced this kind of connection or had someone come back into your life like this, share your story in the comments. Someone out there might need to hear it.